High pressure and clear blue skies saw some really hot race action on the weekend. So without any further ado, let's get out of the gate and into the action. With 2 rounds already taken place in Rotorua, New Zealand and Innsbruck, Austria, round 3 of the Crankworx World Tour visited the French alpine town of Vergier on the weekend. It has been 22 years since the first ever World Cup took place at Vergier, and the Crankworx Festival has certainly taken the location to the next level with a range of disciplines from downhill to slopestyle, speed and style and slalom on the programme. In the downhill event, the track was absolutely flat out, almost a replica from the World Downhill event of 2004. High speed open sections and super technical woods, it was an intoxicating race on the French mountain. Rachel Atherton on her trek took the win by 3 seconds from Commensal's Myriam Nicole, with Tracey taking up 3rd on the podium. Casey Brown, wearing slim fit jeans, taking a great 5th position and maybe setting the style for future World Cup downhill races. Crazier things have happened at World Cup. With many of the world's best missing from the action, Troy Brosnan of Australia and Canyon sneaked in by less than a second from Frenchman Amaury Pierron, with fellow Frenchman Loris Vergier 2 seconds adrift. Brosnan almost threw it away after his hand blew off the bars on one of the lower road crossings. Half the top 10 were French riders, continuing the theme at World Cups, which starts again in a few weeks' time over at Val De Fassa. Troy Brosnan will be trying to add to his World Cup tally of 2 wins, but those Frenchmen will be hard to beat as the series moves to the incredibly technical Italian slopes. So the series standings after 3 rounds sees New Zealander Sam Blenkinsop still out in front, with Danny Hart and Troy Brosnan equal second, Amaury Pierron taking up 4th place. In the women's, it's a battle between Emily Siegenthaler and Tracey, having both ridden all rounds so far. Atherton and Seagrave joined 3rd, having only raced 1 event each. On to the slopestyle and back-to-back wins for Nicholi Rogatkin. What can we even start to say about the state of slopestyle at the moment? It is simply unreal. Seeing the standard that these guys are riding at, when you compare it to where the sport was 10 years ago, it's simply on a totally different level. Even comparing Rogatkin to how he was riding last year, you could say that he looks way more in control, which, considering the amplitude and the difficulty of the tricks he's throwing, is one hell of an achievement. Now, not only is Rogatkin leaving Europe with back-to-back wins in the bag, he's now the only rider in contention for the Crankworx Triple Crown. If a rider wins 3 slopestyle events on the Crankworx World Tour, they win an extra prize of $25,000, and that's on top of the cash for the individual event wins. The Triple Crown is extremely hard to get, so hard in fact it's never been awarded. Could this be then the first year? Brett Reader is almost more than capable of putting up a fight, narrowly missing out to Rogatkin's podium score of 94.5 by just 2 points with a huge 92. But flat drop, front flips and the smoothest cork 720s going weren't quite enough to compete with the amplitude of Nicolai, landing his first double backflip done in a competition. Smooth as you like. 3rd spot in the competition went to up-and-coming German rider Erik Fedko, who spent some time in the hot seat with a solid first run of 87.75. Getting redemption and landing the 360 Indian Air that took him down last week in Innsbruck. The future of slopestyle is looking pretty bright. Let's turn our attention now to the 3 Nations Cup, which took place at Spaarnwoude on the weekend. The racing continued by heading its way to Northern Holland. Over the series we have seen some great rides already, and Spaarnwoude would see Milan Vader, Ben Zwihoff and Mark Bouwmeester battle for glory on a track that was light on technical challenges, but there was the man-made diversion to add some of the difficulty to the event. The key to winning this week was keeping a high tempo and never letting up on the gas. When it came to the finish, it was Habitat Pro Bike's Milan Vader who had found a small break of 25 seconds. Plenty enough time to enjoy the finish line moment, where a win this week was a great moment for a team that races for the benefit of others. Ben Zwihoff aboard his Bergamot followed Vader home with a 15-second back to Mark Bouwmeester of Team Specialized. In the women's race, it was a 2-horse battle between Liv giant Sophie Von Berswordt and Lottie Koopmans riding for Kona Bikes. Both girls were swamped by the pack on the start straight, but the first climb it was Berswordt who had taken charge and only Koopmans could really put any pressure on. The pace of these two broke the rest of the field. Third place would go to Amaury, who took the line a couple of minutes behind Lottie Koopmans, who tried throughout to jump the gap and push Sophie Von Berswordt, but the under 23 racer was unbeatable today and took the win by a comfortable margin. Moving on now to Super Enduro, 1,000 miles further south, and the Italian Enduro Series took place this weekend with 5 stages in the Val De Fassa area. 2,200 metres of ascent, mostly lift assisted, led riders to 5 epic stages without losing too much of their own energy. Stages 2 and 5 dropped massive amounts vertically, leading to big times on the stages. GT's Israeli rider Noga Korem took the win in the women's race with a gap of 38 seconds, back to the Kiwi Ray Morrison and Swiss rider Nita Gehrig rounding out a fully international top 3, a further 14 seconds back. There was much more of an Italian feel in the men's race, with all top 10 being compatriots. Nicola Casadei took the win by 25 seconds with 3 wins on the first 3 stages. Matteo Berta second and Matteo Raimondi third, just 3 seconds back. And finally to Bulgaria, the third round of the Balkan Downhill Cup, the 4-cross nationals and many supporting events at the Pomporovo Bike Fest. The entry consisted of more than 160 riders from the UK, France, Greece, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Romania and of course Bulgaria. For the second year, Luke Cockburn from the UK took the win in the downhill with a time of 2:30.86. The UK entry was strong at this event as riders hunted down those UCI points. 2 other British guys managed to grab second and third position. Sam Hurd with a time of 2:34.83 and Oliver Morris, who was just 2 seconds back. Next year, Pomporovo Bike Fest again will be part of the UCI calendar, so we can look forward to another truly international entry. And that's it from the race show this week. Don't forget to tune in later in the week to the Dirt Shed show, where Martin and the boys will be talking more in depth about the weekend's racing action. While you're here, don't forget to check out this video about cross-country race bike versus aggressive hardtail. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and also subscribe if you've not already done so.